What's up, buddy?
Not much.
How are you doing? Setup's pretty aggressive, right?
This is pretty sweet.
Extra lighting, darkness.
JD hooked you up.
Shout out JD Tech TV for the best guy. Still haven't. I should probably figure out the lights a little bit better, but either way, I think we've got enough things going here. So, first of all, thanks for coming on the podcast. And it's been a long time. We haven't had really one-on-one. I went back and looked on it. We had, you, me, and somebody else a long time ago, but not just you and me. So, I just wanted to take this opportunity to, thank you for your hard work and understanding what I've been trying to do, because you've really the longest one involved in this process now that's seen it, for the most. So to you, what does Cutternation mean to you?
Well, the fact that you said I'm the longest that's been here, I guess it's kind of funny because I feel like I just met you. So yeah, it means a lot because I ran into you at a gym one day and started talking baseball. Didn't know that it was gonna come to this. I just knew you were a baseball guy, so I was like, oh, another guy at the gym that knows baseball. Met a couple of them already, so I was just gonna go up there and chat with you. And then we just started talking, and I came in through, and I liked being here. So, it's crazy that it's been 2.5 years or so already. So, I'm just thankful that I was able to meet you and get this opportunity to develop and just learn, just continue. There's so much in this game that you don't even know, what we were just chatting about earlier. There's so much in the game that we just don't even know exists, or you just don't recognize it. So it's just nice to just keep learning those things from you and from everybody that comes in. And it's been one hell of a ride.
I agree. It's been fun to watch you evolve with the ideas that we talk about, and I feel like you've made a lot of good suggestions and ideas in our program and help it grow. And you're always helping us out around here. We're really excited about you heading to out to your situation in Milwaukee. Who was that?
Johnny.
Oh, yeah. But it's been fun, from your first season that you played in the Frontier League to last year with Milwaukee that I've been around you. It's been really fun to watch you grow and just get better and find your identity on the mound and a good game plan. And, I was talking to someone the other day about you and how they've faced you over, a course of almost a year now. And they've just noticed how much more aggressive you are, how much better it's impossible to hit you. You stay out of the middle as you should. But it's very impressive to watch you go out and do your work. And even the other day when we were in here watching your last year's videos, you just look like a completely different guy in what you're doing. But also there's a lot of truth in those too. So it's cool to see you continue to want to get better and continue to try to strive to to make a shot to the major leagues. And I without a doubt think that you're at least going to get the closest opportunity you can to get there. I mean, sometimes business is what it is, but can't deny that when you're doing what you're doing and you're good. So it's really fun to watch, especially since you've gotten back, dude, it's been crazy to watch you just grow and just go through the whole thing. So it's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's you have a point. Business is business, but you just gotta you just never know what can happen. So just gotta keep going at it, and maybe right time, right place, something might happen, and the opportunity arises itself. But yeah, since coming back, and like you said, watching the videos on TV, it's something clicked with me mentally in those games that we were watching, but you can just tell it the motion's a little different. So since coming here, I kind of went back to feeling what was more comfortable and what felt more fluid and flowy in my motion that I've probably tried before. And so, yeah, the motions look a little bit different, but the velo's ticked up a little bit in the off season as we've gone, and the command just keeps getting better and better. Just trying to find every pitch differentiate each pitch, just like I've always tried to. And it's nice, like when a pitch might be lacking, you just have 2 or 3 more in your back pocket that you're able to, you somewhat know how to throw at least.
Right.
And yeah, if one's not working, you just pick another one. So it's just kind of nice, just learning different pitches. Like, I don't know, I think people just specialize too much in 1 or 2 or 3 pitches, and it's just like, well, why not try another one in case your best pitches might not be working one day. Like, an okay pitch that you've been working on might be your best pitch that day. So might as well keep up with them and maybe try and keep them in that back pocket just in case.
It might be like the perfect pitch that you think is terrible but works against the opponent because they're just not anticipating. There's even though it's terrible to you, like I know your and my standards on pitches are pretty high. I remember you recently in one of the live at bats, you were facing somebody that was in college and you threw a pitch and they swung and missed at it, and you're like, if I throw that in my league, it's going to get destroyed. Just the fact that you're aware of that is a very it's a very telling thing about your awareness of what's happening in live at bats and how you're able to understand, whether you're doing something good or not, which is, it's really hard to do that, and simulate the idea. I mean, I think we're proving more that you actually don't need to play winter ball to develop. You don't need to, play all these extra games. You can actually be, I mean, I'm speaking for you just from what I see, but I want to ask you, you basically played winter ball, right? So you started doing a number of weeks. So how many weeks did you do, right? And then what was the significance from start to finish that you noticed? We're not really done. We have one more live AB on Friday, which is super exciting. It's going to be a real fun time. But that being said, what did you notice? What's the biggest takeaway from that? Because this is basically a different idea of winter ball. You know what I mean? And so just all of it collectively, I have my thoughts on it, but I want to know what you think.
I think just the idea of reps, and every let's see, right now I've been tracking pretty much every week in the off season, whether it's just tracking a velo day and how hard I can pull down, or just tracking my pitches and how I use them and how I keep trying to get better with them in bullpens and stuff. So it's been, I think might be the 29th week. It's every week. I can put all these videos back to back and probably see a difference in something every time, whether it's movement on pitches or sequencing or anything. Just and working on situations too. I think that's a big thing too. You just don't know what you're going to be ready for, and there are pitches that I know might have good effect here, but out in my league they might not have the same effect. They might get crushed. Maybe I get lucky and they pop out or something. I don't know, but I've just failed so many times that you start replaying different failures in your head. Like, okay, that was this pitch, and then if I perform the same pitch in live ABs, I was like, okay, try not to do that again, because what might happen. Right. So, it's just you're just constantly reminding yourself of the idea of getting better, and it's okay to remind yourself of your failures, because that's just all part of the preparation. So, I think just kind of being even keeled and in that aspect is big.
I think you bring up a valuable point to some young guys that maybe they don't understand what you said because you just said it so nonchalant. But you going back and watching each one of your pitches and trying to learn from it and seeing it in different ways. It's not just about your previous outing, it's about the whole thing, or, start to finish, and just looking for trends. Or, you said you threw a particular pitch. I remember being behind you one day and you talking about, you wanted to really work on a particular backdoor cutter or front door or just whatever it was. And, understanding which pitches are the dangerous ones and which ones are the safe ones, the risky ones, the non-risky ones, working on those in situations. I think it's going to be massively valuable to your success in the season, because, it's just such a high leverage situation as a reliever to come in, where you have to get the guy out in front of you. Otherwise it's a very white and black job, which makes it a lot more fun. It's not necessarily about trying to extend these innings or whatever. It's like you come in and punch out 4 dudes and you're only supposed to face 4 dudes. Like you did your job. It's a little bit easier to go out there mentally and do that.
Going back to like what I said about reps too, like you can be in, like by all means, like winter ball is a great opportunity and can get you looks and stuff. And that's definitely a goal one day, is to get to a good winter league opportunity, and hopefully it kind of boosts me up. But as of now, like just having reps is important to me, just because of what we just talked about, just being able to see things and try and do them over and over and over again. Whereas like in winter ball, you might not pitch for 4 days, and like I know that once a week I'll be able to get at least 100 reps of my pitches, just to try and get a good feel for them. And then during the week, I still get good feel off the mound and like bullpens and stuff. So like just like a hitter will get close to 15 ABs in a live at bat session. Pitching it, I'm able to get over 100 reps of my pitches too. So it just kind of balances out. It's just so it's a cool little opportunity.
What's the advantage of these extra reps in the winter ball situation to you?
One advantage is, I mean, if you get knocked around in a live AB session, the stats don't matter, and you know what you can work on. Whereas, like in winter ball, if you get knocked around, those are your stats, and it's harder to kind of, you can't just come out after a game, then go back out there and work on what you were trying to work on. Like you're done for the day. But like in live AB session, if I mess something up and I want to try and do it again, like I could be like, hey, let's run it back. Like I said, you can't do that in a game, but I mean, it's about practicing those situations in order for when they do happen in a game, like you're kind of prepared for that. So
yeah, totally. I agree. It's like I said, it's been fun to watch you do this, and now that we've almost completed the experiment, it's obvious that if you're not competing against another human in the competitive space of pitcher versus hitter, then you're not really developing your mental side of the game. Because I think the physical and the mental have to go together. I mean, everybody talks about the mental side of the game so hard. It is, but it has to go in the space of doing it. And it's been fun to watch you become more dominant in that, because I feel like it's exposed, like you actually know, okay, this is a wipeout pitch. Like this is a non-hittable. I know I can throw this. I know how to execute that. And when you have those like confident type of pitches, then you can really go out and compete at a high level and be successful. So it's gonna be fun. We'll be watching you here and watching the stream and do your thing. I mean, oh darn, we got to keep Taylor's game on all day just to make sure that he's going to pitch or whatever. But I mean, you're in Central Time most of the time, so that's good too. That helps us, doesn't interfere with our big league games.
Yeah, it'll be exciting, and whatever role I have, just gotta roll with the punches and not take it for granted, and just kind of do my job. And I mean, we'll see.
yeah. What are you looking forward to this upcoming season? Last year you were at COVID. There was, limited season, all kinds of just super. I remember you calling me and telling me all kind of crazy stories about like how people were acting over there, and this season being a full season, is there anything you got to deal with as well?
I think with the whole pandemic and everything, it's kind of everyone knows kind of what the deal is. Last year had some rules and stuff, and I mean, it was just on everybody to abide by them, and by all means, everybody can do what they want to do. And this year, I think with the vaccines and everything, it'll be a little bit more lenient, and everyone will kind of know the idea and what the drill is on testing and stuff. So I think it's just going to be more relaxed in sense of the pandemic. But I mean, having a full season right now is important, just because last year I didn't start off great, but then second half of the half season, and I turned it up a little bit, kind of found something. So I want to be able to get back to that and try and do that for a whole season. Yeah, see what happens.
For sure, it's like I said, you watching you as a reliever and throw these overpowered sequences are just like, it's going to be real fun to watch you do it again this year and see some stuff. So
I just see how the pitches play out. Like I've been working on everything for a lot, and there may be a time where I only just stick to what's working, and then but I'll keep keep throwing them in bullpens at least at all the pitches just in case one might be lacking one day. I got this too, so let's try this out. So yeah, benefits of
multiple pitches, right?
5 pitches.
5 pitches. 5/7/8, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
Different variations of it. Yeah, it's so as you've grown around me and Cutternation and what we've been doing, your knowledge of the game is in front of me has really expanded tremendously. Just our conversations and what you see, what I see, your history and everything together. Who do you like right now in the game that is kind of like doing stuff that you see yourself maybe doing the same thing? Is there anybody that's throwing in the big leagues that you could be like, oh yeah, this guy's doing some fun stuff. Maybe I could do some things like.
Bauer's one of them for sure.
Yeah.
There's some controversy with him, but at the same time, it's like he's just he's a big content guy. Like I enjoy making content. I don't know if I can make as much as he can, just for time purposes, but. Making content's fun, but in terms of like pitching, it's the other day he struck out Tatis and just like yelled at him almost. It's just like I was like, whoa, like it's kind of aggressive, but at the same time, it's like the game is full of emotions. So that's something like I feel like I've gotten better at is like showing more emotion on the field and just kind of like not being as so passive. Like let your emotion kind of show, like be a mean guy out there, but everything else, like off the field you're like the nicest, but on the field it's like no, like I'm not gonna be your friend, So I think Bauer is something that someone that I've seen that has kind of done those and has those qualities that I kind of hope to have. But at the same time, it's like I'm myself, and you gotta stick to who you are. But watching these guys on the big screen and seeing what they do is always a treat and kind of a lesson learned as well. So like Bauer, and then the calmness of DeGrom. If I could just balance both of them out, I feel like that's me. So
do you think it's calmness, or do you think it's just like pure?
But that's the thing, like you just don't know.
Yeah,
it's Bauer's not afraid to wear it on his sleeve. DeGrom, or Scherzer, they're just kind of saying F you all the time, but they just don't really show it.
Right.
Max or Scherzer might, but DeGrom is just kind of like, I'm going to dominate you today. Have fun. And
DeGrom's more mad at himself for missing a spot and giving up a hit.
DeGrom's more like, I'm going to be more mad at myself for not striking you out than getting you out. So
like full ownership of the experience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy that too.
I enjoy that too. I so many times I tell kids, parents tell us situations or what's happening, and every time I'm like, well, why'd you let him hit the ball? And there's no accountability from that point. And I think that's just so, tremendous. Because I was a use your defense kind of guy, and it's just like you just don't see it. It just doesn't happen.
And it still kind of plays today where, you think one thing in the game, then once you get to the older levels or like pro level or like. That's just not a thing,
right?
And even I didn't even know. I was playing in affiliated, and I didn't really know those things until I met you. You don't have to do what people think you have to do.
Yeah.
It's there's a whole different side of the game that's not really being talked about, and it's just don't let him, as simple as it is, don't let him hit the ball.
Yeah, Joe Musgrove threw 6 four-seam fastballs.
Yeah.
In his no-hitter against the Rangers.
Yeah, and I'm sure all the hitters were like, how come you're not giving me fastballs?
Yeah.
You wimp or whatever.
You could see it. You could see the way that they were swinging and where they were trying to attack him, where they were intentionally not swinging at the first pitch or the second pitch the first couple times through because they saw spin, and then then they had to honor it, and then he's just using it. I think out of the 6 he threw, I want to say only 3 were strikes. The other ones were just a little bit off, a little bit up, but they were all intentional balls.
Weird.
Yeah, and it's just hilarious that it's just people just don't see it and they don't understand, 1, how hard that is to do, and 2, it is an intentional strategy.
I can't believe he wasn't throwing strikes down the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. He didn't throw anything in the middle. Yes, right, exactly. Exactly the plan. Well, cool, man. I'm real excited for you. 2021 is going to be great. are there any cities that you're excited that you haven't gone to yet that's on the schedule that you're looking forward to?
Honestly, I don't even know every single city that's even in the league, so I have to go back and watch and look at that because we only had 6 teams last year. So I can't think of all the teams that weren't in it at the top of my head. I know there's some in Texas. I feel like Texas would be kind of cool. Those would just be really long trips.
Oh yeah.
But I'm just excited just to get back to Milwaukee in general. It's a beautiful city, and I enjoy it out there. So, but yeah, seeing new places is always nice to me, and that's one of the benefits of playing. Still, is you just get to travel and play baseball in a different state almost every couple days. So it's kind of crazy.
It's pretty gnarly.
It's weird to think about.
Yeah, it's all I call it time capsule, or it's like time travel because you go off and play. I remember going off and playing, and you don't see anybody for 6 months, 7 months, then you come back and everything's changed, and there's a new restaurant somewhere, and
I always expect something to happen where it's just I don't know.
Yeah, like you said, like a restaurant just popping up out of nowhere.
Yeah, just like it's the new thing. You're like,
when did they start constructing this thing? I don't know.
You guys built this the whole time I was gone?
Yeah, you almost feel like you miss out on a lot, but at the same time, it's like you're experiencing something that nobody else has experienced in their life. So
right,
it's kind of like a win.
It's hard.
It's hard. You're 25. I remember being there. It's different to be able to go away and come back and be okay with being going away. I mean, it's myself. I'm can't speak for you, but myself, it was just so obvious. Like when I was doing it, and I was there. I was like, oh yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is the right thing. You know what I mean? You can't do it forever. I mean, even we're trying to keep the dream alive here at Cutternation, but in the same sense, you only get a finite amount of time to play this game, and I feel like the lucky ones that actually get to play for a long time, to me, a long time might be 3 or 4 seasons. Most people can't make it that far. Yeah. And so I got 7, and I feel real lucky that I was able to play 7. Granted, my 7 were scattered all over the place, but it's just a different thing,
There were so many times where I felt like it was the last season for me, or it was my time. Just whether I was struggling or going through some things mentally, not having family around to help out with that kind of stuff. It got really hard at times. So. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I just knew that I could be good enough to stay in the game for a while. So that's what I'm trying to do. Is just you just don't know when it's going to end, and I don't want to end it and then just regret not playing anymore. Because I know that I have the right abilities. I just need to believe, and which is something that I've got quite a good grasp on this off season. So it's just exciting to kind of go back out and kind of bring that to the table and see what happens. But yeah, it's been, like I said, been a wild journey so far, and just hoping it can continue a little bit. So
awesome. So why don't you tell everybody where you're going to be, how long you're going to be there? Do you know where the first series is?
What is it? I don't remember. Oh, I know it's on the road. I just don't know exactly where it was. Yeah, I can't think of it. But this year I'll be in Milwaukee, and for all of you, California people, it's in Wisconsin. You probably don't. A lot of people probably didn't even know it was in Wisconsin. So just putting that out there. I'll be out there for about 4.5, close to 5 months. So.
What's the name of the team?
Milkman, the Milwaukee Milkman.
Yes.
Yeah. As odd as it sounds, it's kind of unique and cool. So.
No, sick uniforms, nice logo, definitely for sure.
Very simple logos, simple uniforms with pinstripes.
Beautiful field.
Yeah, beautiful turf field, great area, great ownership, staff, everybody, teammates.
How's the mound?
It's all turf, so it's not bad. It's good slope.
Does it play?
It's good slope.
Does it play? I've never really thrown on a turf mound like that. Does it?
You try to dig a little hole up there, but you can't because it doesn't go anywhere. So.
Right.
There's a lip at the front of the mound, so sometimes the ball will kind of hit the lip and go straight up.
Oh, that's
which can be kind of scary.
That's super scary.
Yeah, so just don't let them hit it, and what happens?
Just don't. Yeah, for sure.
For sure. All right, buddy. Well, you guys go follow Taylor on social as he goes in. I'm sure he'll be keeping some. We got some things planned for the summer on keeping up with him. I'm sure there's some exclusive content might be coming your guys' way. So, Taylor, appreciate it. It's a fun little quick podcast. I'm excited. This is the last week training and working before you go.
Thanks a ton.
Thanks for having me.